Hi, thanks for stopping by my channel. This is Anna's Aqua Home. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so here's my sewing area. It's just part of my second bedroom. I normally lay everything out over there. I normally just pull this out of the way so that there's enough room. I've got my lights, and then this door right over here is what I'm going to be working on. So this beautiful wreath was given to me for my wedding. It's actually homemade. A friend in our church she made so many of these wreaths, and that was over 8 years ago I got this wreath, and it is still great. It is still holding up really well. I love it. But if I take that down, the window behind it, it's a door and it just has a small window. Well, I do not like the cover. It was always my intention to make a new cover, something that was a little bit more colorful and bright and beautiful. So I've been trying to decide what I'm going to do for that, and I think I have my solution. I hope it's bright enough and you can see. I hope it's not too dark on the camera. But my plan for that little window is to use dish towels. That's right. These dish towels, I know Dollar Tree has a bunch of them every year, but these were actually from Walmart. They had 99-cent dish towels at Walmart. It was so nice. I tried to buy some online and I couldn't find any. My mom went and she found them for even less than $1. I think they were like 25 cents or 50 cents at the end of the season. So there's a whole bunch of pretty ones in a bunch of different colors. So I like this one for the middle. It says, "Everything's coming up daisies." So they're nice and big. So this would be really easy. It's finished. If I just folded it over the top, maybe 2 inches, and just sewed along there, I could string them all on there together. I was thinking I didn't probably have to put them side by side. I could just do this on the top, but I'm going to go ahead and sew them together, and then I'm going to do this. So I was thinking when I was looking, I've got this one, and then I have these 3 towels that are the same color scheme. I think I definitely want to use this because this one has daisies. And I was thinking maybe if I used all 4 of them, I could maybe cut one in half and put half on either side. But I think that'll be way too long for my window. I'm just thinking I don't need it super wide because it's going to be bunched up together. So which ones would you use? I'm trying to decide. Would you use these, or would you do this one, or would you do this one? I'm kind of thinking it's really hard to decide. I'm thinking this one. And even though my colors would normally be to go more blue, I'm really thinking of going more with this stripe. But is that too much? Like, is this too distracting from this color? I think I'm going to go with these. So it ties in a little bit better with the other things. So that's my plan. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew them together. So this one I want in the middle, so I'm going to put the one I want on the side, put it together, and then I'm going to sew down and then open it up, attach the third one over here, and then for the whole set, once those are all sewn together, I'm going to fold it over 2 inches, 2.5 inches, and then sew all the way across the entire thing, string it onto my curtain rack, and this should be a really quick project, really easy project. I'm gonna only have a few dollars when we finally get down to it invested in this project, and we'll see if this adds just a little bit more decoration to our room. All right, so the first step is to go ahead and sew the two towels together, the middle one and then the one you want on the one side. Now make sure that the bottom of your pieces are going to line up. So the bottom of your tea towel, that is what is going to be showing the most along the bottom line. So these two tea towels, even though they said they were the same size, this one was, I guess the striped one, was about 1/4 of an inch shorter than the daisy one. So what I did was I started the striped one 1/4 of an inch from the top, so that when I went all the way to the bottom, the top's going to be folded over, so you're not going to notice that they didn't exactly line up, but you will notice that on the bottom one. So I made sure that the bottom one lined up perfectly just by adjusting the top. Now, sometimes because the seams are folded and folded over again, it can be a little tricky to start sewing on the tea towels. To get going over the multiple layers of fabric, I kind of had to work with this one a little bit, backspace, kind of had to guide it through a little bit more. But once I went little by little and got it through that first 1/2 inch, I was able to really start sewing at the same speed that I could beforehand. Make sure to trim off any threads as you go along. Go ahead and remove the tags. You can kind of see them as they're hanging up, so make sure to do that if your tea towels have tags. Once you have done that and your tea towels are all together, you're going to turn it to the back side of the tea towels, and you're going to start making the little loop for the curtain rod to thread through. I decided I just needed about a 2-inch loop to thread the curtain rod through, so that's what I folded mine down. But if you want a thicker loop or a smaller loop, that is entirely up to you. Just pin it down at the place that you want all the way across in a straight line, and that'll just help you as you get ready to sew. I laid my seams flat so that each seam was pointing out. You don't want them both pointing the same direction, because then when you fold it, that's a lot of seams and it's really thick for your sewing machine to sew over. So anything we can do to get less of a bulk for our machine to sew through is better, and that's why I opened up those seams before I sewed them. Then it's just one more line, sewing it down. Be going slow as you go over those seams. Then you're ready to thread your curtain rod through and hang it up. Now when I was taking the curtain rod off my old curtain, you can see how old and worn this was. I really appreciate whoever did this before us in the house to cover up that window, but this has been needed to be replaced for a long time. It is very sun faded. So I was trying to slide it off before I realized that the curtain rod just came apart in two. So that made it a lot easier for me just to pull it apart instead of getting that round end over it. All right, the sun is really, really bright behind it, but here it is. Everything's coming up daisies. Step back and you can see how colorful this is. This turned out so pretty. I absolutely love the colors, and it really brightened everything up. So thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you see some fun kitchen towels, remember you can always turn them into curtains. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a great week.